Welcome back to the channel. It's Sarah at carnivore.yogi on Instagram. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Please subscribe to my channel while you're here. I'm going to talk about supplements today in this video, and I'm going to give you the supplement routine that I follow today, July 14th, 2020. My supplement routine has changed over the last 20 months that I have been on the carnivore diet, and I'm sure it will change again in the future. I'm also going to link below this video some lab tests that I have continued to run on myself. Now, I use a company called Let's Get Checked. They are one of my sponsors, and so the tests that I talk about, I will also link below this video in case you want to check some of this stuff out for yourself. So I think that it is, if you're going to supplement, important that you kind of keep an eye on your levels in your blood. There's a lot of people that say that you just pee supplements out, and if you don't use all of them, you're going to pee them out. But I do think it's important to, for me, keep track of that stuff. And then on that note, I also want to mention that I am not a professional nutritionist, dietitian, doctor, any of that stuff. This is definitely not medical advice and shouldn't be taken as such. This is me just giving my routines. The other thing, before I jump into it, I want to mention is that there are people who've been doing the carnivore diet for a decade plus that don't take any supplements. And, there are probably reasons why they are doing great without supplements and that I need them. I know for me, when I came into carnivore, I had a lot of health challenges I was working with. I've had gut permeability issues, histamine issues. I had a lot of eczema, so that's another histamine issue. So, I don't know what their health was like before they came in, as well as what adaptations their body has made over the last decade. So, I'm just going to throw that out there, that I don't know that everyone needs them, but this is just my routine, what I do. So let me just jump into it finally, 2 minutes in here. The first supplement that I take is magnesium glycinate. Now, I have taken this since before the carnivore diet. I've taken this for years, just someone that kind of deals with a lot of chronic stress. I have been taking 2 capsules AM, 2 capsules PM, which is 400 milligrams AM and PM, so 800 total per day. And I've been doing that for years, I have a lot of chronic stress. And even though when I was eating a lot of vegetables, I still took magnesium because our soil is extremely depleted. So, you may see like XYZ vegetable has a ton of magnesium in it, but are you actually getting that? Number one, are you getting that? And then number two, is your body able to convert that, right? So that you can absorb it. So I take the magnesium every day. My daughter takes it and my husband also takes it, hence the giant bottle here. The second supplement that I also take every single day would be potassium citrate. Now, this is new. I've just been taking it as of 2020. I found about a year into the carnivore diet that I did have a potassium deficiency. And a lot of people do say you can get your potassium from meat, but then again, here we go with the soil depletion. What is your cow eating? Where did your cow come from? And then you do have to eat a good amount of meat in order to get that potassium. And can you absorb it? So this is, it's an electrolyte. You don't want to overdo this one because, and this is why I don't do any kind of like electrolyte drops in my drinks, because they all have potassium chloride. In previous video, and potassium chloride is more toxic to your kidneys than potassium citrate. This is a little easier on your kidneys. In previous videos, I talked about my GFR being low, and that was a result of, I think, potassium deficiency as well as just plain old dehydration, and that can happen when your minerals are depleted. So I do check in with my GFR every 6 weeks or so. I know I probably don't need to do it that often, but that's when you see a number that's low, and it's your kidneys don't regenerate. Your liver can regenerate, but your kidneys cannot. I think you really got to be careful. So that's why I don't use the electrolyte drops or any of the powders, because those all contain potassium chloride, and citrate is a little easier on your kidneys. So I take 2 of these AM, 2 of these PM. It's 400 milligrams and 400 milligrams. Now, some people say you need up to like 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day. I don't necessarily know if I believe that. My body is doing quite well with just the, twice a day 400 milligrams, which I guess is 800 milligrams per day. The other thing I do to bump up my potassium is I drink meat broth. I did a video about how to make meat broth. This is actually, you want to get a really lean meat. This is a grass-fed, well, all bison is grass-fed to my knowledge, but this was a bison roast. It was super lean. That's why there's no fat. So I will drink a couple cups of the meat broth per day to boost up my potassium, especially here in the hot summer months. And I will put, so this is also, I guess, what I call a supplement, Redmond's real salt. You can also use Celtic salt or pink Himalayan, but I use this in my meat broth that I drink a couple cups of per day, as well as I salt my food. I aim to get about 2 teaspoons of salt per day on this way of eating. Now, I didn't really manage or care about my salt before when I was eating carbohydrates, because carbohydrate, when you're eating carbohydrates, your body hangs on to water a lot easier. I think it's for every 1 gram of carbohydrate that you eat, your body holds on to 3 grams of water. So you really do have to pay attention, in my opinion, to your salt, your levels of sodium in the body on a carnivore diet. So I think potassium, magnesium, and sodium are 3 things that, if you're doing even keto, that you got to keep a hold on. You do need to supplement those, because electrolyte imbalance, like I said, will eventually cause kidney damage over the long run, and you're gonna not feel good. You're gonna have sleep disturbances. It can lead to a lot of problems. So, you know, people that say you don't need to supplement electrolytes, I don't necessarily agree with that, and I do supplement because I feel better, I sleep better, everything works better when I have my electrolytes in balance. The next thing that I do supplement with is vitamin D3. I take the D3 along with K2, even though I do eat a good amount of egg yolks, which is a great source of K2. I live on the East Coast, so we have a lot of sun right now, but we do go through long months of not enough sun. So I will link a D3 vitamin check below this video. I do check in on my vitamin D3 levels. You want to, and now people are saying, this is just studies that are coming out, that low D3 levels is really going to lower your immune system. It's such an important vitamin for your body to have. So I do supplement with the D3 K2. I give that to my daughter as well. What the K2 does is it's kind of a messenger for that D3. And I buy these separately because there are times when I, like in the summer months, when I just really don't need as much D3. I don't take it every single day, and I am using the Let's Get Checked blood test to monitor my D3 levels, but I don't necessarily need to take it every day or even every few days, because I'm outside getting sun as much as I can, even though it's like a swamp out here right now. It's so hot. I live in Georgia. So I don't have to take it every single day during the summer. I do take those, levels into account, but I still do take the K2 on a daily basis. So let's talk about histamines just a little bit here. I did a whole video with Dr. Becky Campbell about histamines if you're curious about what that is or some of the symptoms you may be experiencing. But every single day I take the thymus. Now, I am an affiliate with Ancestral Supplements. You can use my code YOGI10. I will link it below in case you want to try this out. I keep these in the freezer. Some people will react to even the supplements because they're sitting out on the counter getting room temperature. So I just keep mine in the freezer. I also give these to my daughter because she's had tremendous histamine issues. I noticed right away when I started taking these, I take 2 capsules AM, 2 capsules PM. Now it says to take 6 per day on the bottle, but I've done just fine with 2 in the morning, 2 in the night. And then on the days that I eat thymus, because I love sweetbreads, they're so delicious, I buy mine from White Oak Pastures, who I'll go ahead and link below. They're usually sold out, so a little pro tip, just put your name, your email address into the notify me when available, and then when you get that email, order it immediately because they sell out really quickly, probably thanks to me. But the days that I eat thymus, obviously I'm not going to take this supplement, but and same with my daughter, because I'll make her deep fried thymus. But I do take this one the days I don't eat thymus, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, to help boost the DAO enzyme. I also take the kidney, which is another Ancestral Supplements, which is another one to boost up your DAO. 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, same thing with my daughter. Now, I also do keep on hand, sorry, I'm looking down at all these supplements. I do keep on hand the beef liver. I actually give my daughter the beef liver, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. I eat liver now at least 5 days a week on the carnivore diet, because it's really going to give you a lot of essential nutrients, your copper, your zinc, vitamin A. You know, I've not had a problem with vitamin A toxicity. People are like, oh, don't eat so much liver, you're going to get vitamin A toxicity. I haven't had that problem. I've actually heard that that's only been seen in people eating polar bear liver, but you know, if that's something you want to keep an eye on and check in with, you can test it, right? Again, vitamin A toxicity is not necessarily something you want to deal with, but I have not had that problem. I do take the capsules on the days I don't eat the liver just to keep that in my body. I just feel better that way. So that's why I take that one. So this glycine is something that I have just started taking recently before bed to increase my antidiuretic hormone. It's a neurotransmitter. It helps you sleep, helps you relax before bed. So I take like not even quite a teaspoon of glycine, just stirred into water every night before bed. And it helps me to relax and unwind and get up less in the night to pee. So I wear an Oura ring, and my Oura ring tells me how many times I've gotten up in the night to pee. I notice on the nights where I forget my glycine that I actually do get up a little bit more to pee in the night. So that if that's something that you're working on and working with, that could be something that could help you. I also give it to my daughter because it just helps her really unwind before bed and kind of relax. So it's a really nice, relaxing supplement to take before bed. So when I'm stressed out, which has been definitely over the last few months, I do add in a little PS 100 before bed also, because it will help to reduce your cortisol. So if you have a lot of cortisol, this could be something to help you cut down on the cortisol. Now, I don't take this every night or all the time. It's just something, if I feel like I'm stressed out, I will take this, and it actually really does relax me right away. So the last little supplement I'm going to mention, I did start taking this when I switched over to a high-fat carnivore diet. This is HCL. It is to help you increase your stomach acid. I no longer take it, but I do like to mention it because it's a question I get asked quite a bit. If you are having a lot of diarrhea, if you're starting carnivore diet, if you're having digestive problems, you can't digest your fat, you may want to add in the HCL. I took it like one capsule with dinner for the first 6 weeks that I switched over to high fat, and then I just took it out, faded it out, and my digestion has been absolutely great. I do go to the bathroom every single day. If you're wondering, it's not a problem for me. I feel like I've been really fortunate in that regard. So before I started the carnivore diet, I was on a ton of supplements. I was taking probably about $500 a month worth of supplements. I know I was taking a lot of B vitamins. I will link some B vitamin tests below this video, because my B vitamin levels, B12 in particular, were always just in the toilet. So I had to take a lot of B12, and that was even with meat. I was still on and off anemic, still not able to absorb my B12. Now I do have the MTHFR mutation, so if you have that mutation, it will make it a little bit more difficult for your body to absorb B12. But since switching to carnivore diet, every time I check my B12 levels, we're good. I don't need to supplement with it anymore. So that's one that I took. I also used to take a ton of fish oil supplements, which the jury is out on whether or not those are really healthy, are good for you. But I used to take fish oil capsules every day because I heard about the brain health benefits. Since switching to carnivore diet, I get a lot of really nice healthy fats. I eat raw beef suet. I do occasionally eat the fish roe, the salmon roe. It's been a bit harder to find. So I check my omega-3/6. I will link that test below. I think that is a good one to just see, you know, do you have enough of those fats? Because that is going to help you with your mental health also. And again, not medical advice, just something I think is important. But I no longer take the fish oil capsules. I used to also take a lot of L-theanine before I did the carnivore diet, and even up until the last few months I was taking a lot of it. It is expensive, the type of L-theanine that I buy, so when I ran out, I was like, let me just see how I do without this. It's another one that can help you cut your cortisol, so if that's a problem for you, you may want to try some L-theanine, but I don't take that one any longer. All right, guys, so that's all I can think of. I'm sure I left some stuff off, not of my current supplement routine. The list of supplements I was taking before I did the carnivore diet was literally like this, so I'm not going to go over all of them. I just wanted to mention a few of them, like the B vitamins, that I was taking before I did this. Oh, and iron. I was also taking iron before I did the carnivore diet because I would struggle with anemia still. You can also do an iron test. I will link that below this video. But I no longer need that. I've been checking in with my iron, my ferritin levels. It's all good. I don't worry about iron overload, especially number one, because I have a monthly cycle. And number two, I've struggled with anemia my whole life, so I'm not super worried about the iron overload issue. But I hope this was helpful, guys. Don't overthink this stuff, you know, like go by your symptoms. So if you're having muscle cramps, eye twitches, face twitches, you may want to look into supplementing magnesium, potassium. You may need a little bit more sodium in your diet. If you want to reduce your cortisol, maybe try the PS100s. And you know, you can just play around with stuff. You can just try stuff out. I love experimenting on myself. That's why I use the Oura Ring to track my sleep, to see how well I'm recovering, how well my body's recovering. I use Let's Get Checked to check in on my vitamin levels just to make sure I'm not overdoing or underdoing something. And, you know, try not to stress about it because, like I said, stress, cortisol is going to ruin your body's ability to absorb minerals, ruin your body's ability to digest food, all of those things. And those high levels of cortisol will also make your body hold on to extra weight. So again, I hope this was helpful, guys. Please leave a question or comment below if you have one, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.